Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's bucket list beer episode, we're indulging in an overwhelming popular Trappist beer. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. So, interestingly, I think if I put this out when I think I'm going to put it out, I think it is Belgium Beer Week this week.
Interesting.
Which goes quite nicely with the bucket list beer that we're going to do. I say Belgium.
We're late on the day that would be like the really good day specifically for this beer.
But on the actual day for this. But I thought that would work. I was like, oh, I think that's the week I'm going to put this out. So I think we have. So it's Belgium Beer Week. I feel like it should be Belgian Beer Week. But apparently it's more... Belgium Beer Week.
But is it more
because it's
beer
Belgium's,
week in Belgium
as opposed to it
versus
being Belgian,
it being
right?
Like it's not Belgian beer specific. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Maybe it's
Belgian beer.
It's Belgium's beer week, as opposed to Belgian beers being drunk that week.
Do you know that thing of like when you say a word like so many times
and then you just can't hear it?
It just sat in your, and then you're like, is this a word? Like, am I saying a real word? So like, it just got to that point where I was like, is Belgium the word? Is Belgian the word? Like, I don't even know anymore.
I brought this
up
up
we
because
just said it a lot.
I brought it up because it's Belgium Beer Week, but also because I feel like there's a real thing where people are like, it's like people get really funny about it. Belgian. And I was like, I'm going to bring this up because I think that's the thing. And we're just going to address it straight off the bat.
I don't have anything, if it helps, I have nothing to address because I feel like I'm probably the person that people get mad at, I'm guessing. Because I think if I was having a beer that was a Belgian style beer, even if it wasn't from Belgium, I'd be like, I'm having a Belgian beer.
Yeah.
If I was having a beer that was from a brewery that was in, I probably would also still say
Belgian, right?
But like I think I'd say like, oh, it's a beer from Belgium. But I do think like I do feel like there are people that don't know that it's Belgium and they'll just be like they'll say I don't know. Maybe I just don't know anymore and I've gone blind to it.
I thought that was fun. I thought I'd bring that up. Anyway,
that's to send me into a wobble at the start of things.
Should we tell them what Belgian beer we are drinking on this Belgium Beer Week?
Yeah, I don't want to say you say all of it because now I feel like my brain's all wonky and I don't know what to say anymore. What's a real word and what's a fake word?
We are drinking Orval.
Yeah, my lights are really bad on this.
Yeah, there we go.
You'll see it. You'll see it on Joe's better. It's fine. I hope that's a cover photo where you're posing with the beer. And I was just about to take a swig of water, and I was like, it's a Belgian beer. It is in fact a Trappist beer as well. So we'll probably talk about what Trappist means in case you don't know, in case you're new and you don't know about that, and why Orval, one, is a bucket list beer, and two, why it's such a unique and interesting Belgian beer, because it's not like this. One of these things is not like the others, and it is Orval. One of these things is not like the others, and this thing is Orval.
This is it. This is the thing.
And the thing is as well, I feel like it's been burning a hole in my fridge because every time I'm like, I want to drink. Like we bought it for this episode, and like every time I'm like, but if we don't do the episode, I am just going to drink it though. But then I'm like, no, we have to keep it. We've got to be good. Got to keep it. And so it's been sat in my fridge. I'm really excited to actually get to drink it. And you've got two of them.
I've actually got two.
Really sad because I'm like, I only have one. I wish I tricked myself into thinking I didn't have it anymore, and then got myself a second one.
I did in fact trick myself into thinking that I had drunk it. And then we were like, yes, but we need one for this episode. And so I ended up buying another one. And then I found it in the fridge and was like, oh, no, I do have two. Now, interestingly, the one that you've got and the one that I currently have out were bottled in 2024. Yep. And the other one that is currently sitting in my fridge it was bottled on 2025, and that will become apparent why that is interesting when we talk about the beer.
I'm wondering as well, because there was a distinction in some of the stuff that I was looking at as well. And I did kind of question a little bit about why there was that distinction, but it will, again, as you said, it will become clear as we talk about that. But now I'm hoping that you actually talk about the logic behind the why.
Yes.
So that when we get to my part, I go, oh, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah. I feel like I will. If not, we'll just have to work it out when we get
Yeah,
there.
that's it. As normal, I've found a bunch of extra stuff, and then I just tick it off a list of like, you've talked about that one, that's fine, I can delete that, don't have to cover that. And this was something that I was not prepared to talk about, just an observation, and you might have answered the observation before I even got there.
There we go. Should we crack it open so we've got it ready?
Yeah, do I need to know anything like any special pouring, anything that I need to know going into this?
It is bottle conditioned, so you do need to be careful pouring it because there's probably sediment. What kind of glass have you got?
This is going to feel really bad. It's going to feel really bad because I don't have an Orval glass.
No, I don't have an Orval glass either.
The best thing that I could get from what I assumed that would probably be the best fit is a Chimay glass.
It's a chalice. It'll do. Like, I haven't got an Orval glass either. So Belgian beers from Belgium tend to have their own branded glassware, and they get really funny about it in Belgium if they haven't got the right glass to pour it into, and like sometimes they won't even serve you because they haven't got the right glass.
Now I feel bad about it.
I don't have one, but a Orval glass is a chalice. So I have this one, which is a Kaiser Karel one.
Well, I had another chalice. I had another chalice that was not a branded one.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is from a brewery, but it doesn't have the brewery writing on it.
Yeah.
And it's from a UK brewery, but it's meant to be, when I bought it eons and eons ago, it was a chalice, quote unquote. But I would actually say it's more like a gin balloon glass than it is an actual chalice. So I was a little bit like, I could use that because I remember it being called a chalice. So I was like, I could use this is great. And I went to go get it and I was like, no, it is, every time I see it again, I'm like, it is more gin balloon.
Yeah.
And so I thought, because I was doing everything I could to avoid getting the wrong branded glass, because I was like, I don't need to be roasted over coals, but I don't have an Orval glass.
I did draw the line at bringing out my Duchess glass, and I was like, no. that is for Duchess.
That would be, but I think that's it. Is that would be so drastically the wrong beer.
I mean, I feel like this chalice is actually for doubles, but it's fine.
Fine. I feel like Flanders Red is like a bridge too far, though. That's just like, that's very different. No.
Yeah, I've got a picture of the Orval glass I've just pulled up, and it's actually quite like,
it's more like
it's
V,
quite pointy.
It?
Yeah, it's quite V-ish. Like, rather than rounded, it's quite V-ish towards the stem, and then it curves up a little bit. I was trying to see if I think it does curve in ever so slightly. My chalice it curves around and then is straight up, so it's not going to necessarily capture the head quite as nicely as an Orval glass. I think yours is okay. Yeah,
mine's alright, but I will say the Orval glass
one was
is more
slightly pointier at the bottom. It'd be more like, but obviously it's a Chimay glass, not an Orval glass. So
yeah, I would say the photos I've got as well of them are definitely more like, if you were to look from the midpoint up, my Chimay glass would be fine. But if you're looking from the midway point down, it's very pointed.
So as we're talking about it, yes, it looks more like a funnel. As we're talking about it, I have gone to my notes, and the reason you need a chalice, you need a wide bowl, because that allows the aroma to develop while supporting the large Belgian style head. So I think we've got correct glasses for this. So I think we'll be okay.
All right.
Shall we pour?
Yeah, it's relatively dark on my like in my room. I've got the light on me, but when I had the background light on, it was
Yeah.
just a disaster. And so now I'm like, fingers crossed, I can see the sediment because it's quite a dark bottle as well.
It's also quite
And so I'm like,
bottle.
dark room, dark bottle. Fingers crossed.
It's also a very like iconic shape. Like no one else uses the shape of all our bottles. Like they've got a long neck. They've got quite like they're quite kind of rounded.
It's a stubby little. It's like a little. It's not quite super stubby, but it's like a stubbier bottom, like a more rounded, stubbier bottom, but like a long neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan of the shape of the bottle, to be fair.
They are iconic.
Oh, shit.
Oof. Oh.
I managed to catch that before that got too risky business. I mean, I do need kitchen roll, but
I was very careful. Oh, she is foamy.
I took the cap off and it just went.
Okay, mine didn't go, but oh my god, I've just got a glass full of foam. All right, listeners, you might have to wait while we let this settle. You've got a better pour than me.
Call me the pour master. I feel like that's like, if there's one thing that I do tend to succeed fairly well at, it might not be having clean glassware. It might not be having the best glassware. It might not have matching glassware, but I can pour a beer. So I will take pride in that.
Total side, that looks good. Yeah, yours looks good. Mine's still sorting itself out. Total side tangent, nothing to do with Belgian beer, nothing to do with Orval, but I was in an event last Friday and there was free drinks, and the only bit, well, I think they had some random lager, but the only other bottle, it was all in bottles, and the only beer they had was a Wainwright Gold, which is fine. And there was a lad pouring for us into plastic glassware, so definitely not, like, none of this was optimal conditions, right? But this young lad did me an absolutely beautiful pour. And I said to him, and he was like, oh, there was a little bit left. He's like, oh, do you want to finish that off? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, because that's not going to fit in the glass. And like, nice chunk of head, beautiful pouring. And, you know, considering it was a plastic glass and stuff. And I was like, that was a very good pour. Thank you very much. And he's like, oh, thanks. But I was like, credit where credit is due.
You always compliment people. Oh, yeah, you always got to compliment people on their skills.
I was like, that was good. Like, you know, he had it at 45 degrees. And I was like, sir, thank you for your attention to detail.
Like, game recognized game.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, mine has calmed down a little bit, so I'm going to try and top it. There, she's a bit better now. Look, there we go. Much better.
I'm mesmerised. So when you were talking a minute ago and I was staring at my glass, it's because I'm mesmerised because there's like a little cyclone happening inside my glass. Is it happening in yours or is it just mine? Have I unleashed some type of...
The bubbles are enjoying themselves. So
the bubbles are enjoying themselves, but it is going. Mine is very much going in a cyclone motion to the point that I thought that I pushed my limit too much because I was trying to get every little last drop in the glass.
Yeah.
And then I thought it got a bit dark at one point and I was like, oh no, have I accidentally got some inside? And then I realized, like, no, this is just the bubbles doing a tornado. And it's still going, like a solid 30 seconds to a minute later. I'm shocked.
It is highly carbonated. And one of the notes about this is that it is highly carbonated. And so, interestingly, I had my first ever Orval when I was still working on cruise ships. And it's like, we'd get, like, depending on where we were in the world, you get, like, random beers, like, suddenly available on the ship in the bars. And not in the crew bar, but in the passenger bars. And I was in a role that was privileged enough to be up and out and about in the passenger areas. And so if I saw an interesting beer, I was like, oh, I've not had that. Never any tasting notes, just a name. And that it was a beer. And I was like, not had that, I'll try it. And I got Orval, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, literally was just like, like, didn't know anything about it. I think it might, like, when I was thinking about it, it was probably one of my first kind of beers that doesn't necessarily taste like beer.
Got you. As in, like, not what you would, not the stereotypical what you're expecting when you say, what your finest beer, please.
Right, like, I feel like before that I'd probably drunk lagers, IPAs, pale ales, maybe something with a bit of fruit in it, like a flavor, like a fruited wheat beer, maybe. But I don't think I would have had anything that what we would class as currently wild. I think we would say, right? I don't think I'd ever had anything like that. So when I tried, I was like, oh yeah, this is interesting. And I went back and had a look to see if I'd written any notes on it on Untapped, and I wrote very carbonated and fruity is what I wrote as my first ever notes about an Orval.
I just looked at my Untapped, and I've only checked it in once. But to be honest, I haven't had Orval that many times, and I only had it for the first time like just a few years ago. So this check-in was from 2023.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this is really like the only time I had the only time I've had it.
Yeah.
Or if that was the second time, because I feel like the first time I had it, we were in Brighton.
Yeah.
And we had gone to a place, and I was like, I've never actually had an Orval, but I can't remember if I had it there or if I got a bottle to go and took it home, and this is what I took home.
Yeah. I can't remember.
But this was in 2023. So this was like, and I think that's about when I had it for the first time, to be fair. And I don't think I've had it much, because I just don't see it that much.
Yeah, you don't see it that often. Like,
I don't see it that often. I would get it if I saw it off, because I love Belgian beers and beers from Belgium. So I love the Belgian-y taste, and I love the Belgium-y brewery. Just take whichever one sounds right, go with it, because I know which one is right, but somebody will tell me that's not the right one. I don't know. It's right up my lane in terms of like the styles that I really enjoy the most, because I think like Belgian beers and then like wild mixed foam stuff, if you ask me like what my hands down favorite was, like that, it would be one of those styles for sure. But I just don't see it that much, so that's why like. And I actually think that makes it really apt for bucket list beers, because it's not massively inaccessible while also being inaccessible. Like, it's not a beer that's like
it's not like you're gonna find it in
where
Tesco's.
you're like, I have to get it from the doorstep of. There's very few places other than the doorstep of the Abbey that you can get this particular bit. It's like you can get it places, but I do feel it's more common in mainland Europe, or then there are some places in the US that they import to.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not in a place or near a place that gets it regularly, and you don't go to a specialty shop, you don't really see it.
Yeah, I think that's true. Okay. Do you want to do tasting notes first? Should we?
I mean, I already had a taste of it. Like, we can tasting note it up.
Right.
I'm already happy with it.
So I think the thing
tastes good.
So it does taste good. So I think the thing with Orval is, I don't want to tell you the tasting notes. I think we should just both share what we're tasting first, and then I'll tell you about tasting notes.
Okay. Tasting notes are good. It smells very it has that estery, like Belgian-y smell to it, and I think it tastes a lot. It's almost a bit floral to the aroma as well, to be fair to me. A little bit of the Brett for sure in the aroma. Taste wise, it's weird, because for me, because you've got the cheat sheet of what the tasting notes are, so I'll brain dump my thing before you start, because then I'll be like, you might be influenced. It's very dry, like it's got a very dry finish to it. It's not in terms of the carbonation, like it's not like a tingy type carbonation, but I feel like I can tell that the taste is very influenced by the carbonation. If that makes sense. And I think that's where it's adding to that dryness. There's a bit of bitterness to it, like surprising levels of bitterness compared to maybe if you're used to drinking these type of beers, maybe what you expect, especially from the smell. Mouthfeel wise, it's not particularly it's quite thin. I do think you just get like that yeasty. It's quite yeasty, not in a bad way. Quite like enjoyable. There's a bit dried fruit to it, but it's very, very subtle. Like, I think it is very subtle in terms of how it's coming through.
Yeah.
That's what's talking to me the most at the moment. When you give yours, I'll let it settle in on mine.
Like I definitely get that like like what you think of as Belgian yeast, air quotes, right? It's got that kind of pepperiness. I get almost a little bit of like orangey, orange peel maybe in there.
Like orange bitters almost.
Yeah, orange bitters is a good.
Orange bitters.
Yeah, that's a really good one. It is quite floral, I think.
More floral than I think you'd expect, because I don't feel like I often get, maybe it's just me, but I don't feel that often when I get that really strong Belgian yeast like aroma that you often get it quite that sweet, like a no other way to than like sweet, fragrant, floral element. Like I don't feel that they always go hand in hand like that. So that was a bit surprising, maybe, but not. It's not out of place.
Yeah, and like I feel like I get like a bit of perfuminess about it.
Yeah.
Again, like not out of place. Considering how carbonated it looks, I feel like it doesn't, like when I'm drinking it, it doesn't feel prickly. No. But it's it is bringing all of that complexity to you.
I do feel gassy now.
I do feel gassy. Yeah,
it's like I will say, it's just popped into my head. This is not the case, but it makes me laugh that every time someone says gassy and they go, "Oh, it's repeating on me." That phrase, "it's repeating on me." That I find that to be one of the funniest phrases. I think my nana used to say that when she'd have it, like she'd burp and she'd go, "Oh, it's repeating on me." And that I don't know why it makes me chuckle, because it's like I'm coming back for business. But it's like that carbonation is like a ninja. It's like this hidden silent assassin that you're like, it's, for me, I feel like it's influencing the foam. It's influencing clearly very visibly what I can see. Even now, carbonation bubbles are still going wild. It's contributing to that dryness.
Yes.
But it's not carbonic. Like there's not, like it doesn't feel heavily carbonic.
Right.
So it's surprising. I wouldn't say smooth, but it's surprisingly smooth for like
when you look at it and you see
everything
all of those
considered.
Bubbles. It's quite drying, which I think makes you drink more of it. Like bearing in mind this is 6.2% as well. It's another one of those Belgian beers.
I did not know that, and I've just been like swigging it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the danger of Belgian beers, right? They creep up on you. Like you drink them, you're like, oh, this is nice, and you don't realise how like high the ABV is. Like they don't taste their ABV. They're so dangerous.
That's why I love Belgian beers so much, because they're so drinkable. And I will never, the amount of people that even still to this day, I've been like, you like Belgian beers, you need to try a Trap, and they're like, what? And I'm like, my sweet summer child, please let me educate you. And I wish more places did Traps. Like I wish I did, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, like I'm advocating for it. Like I really wish that more places did them, and that I didn't have to make them myself. And I don't tend to make, because I never think to do it, because I'm like, I'll have one, but I'm not going to open both, and then you have to have like, or like, I guess I could have a mega pint of it, like a mega pint of Trap. That would absolutely send me. But this is like, this feels like something that needs to have cheese with it. Needs to have cheese with it.
We will come back to that. Put a pin in it.
I'm so glad, because I was hoping you would come back to that. Because if not, I have a pin. I have a pin waiting to dislodge. But that to the side, that wasn't like a leading in comment. That was just like, I was drinking it and I was like, I wish I had some cheese. But it's so lovely for it.
I do also get like a bit of that Brett, and we keep saying Brett, like listeners know exactly what we're talking about. Some of you might, some of you might not. So we will come back to that as well. Put a pin in that if you're not sure what we're talking about.
Who's
Brett? What's he doing here? I'll tell
Brett,
you about
get out.
Get out, Brett.
I love sometimes just using corporate jargon. We'll circle back round to that.
We'll circle back to Brett.
We'll circle back to Brett. Put a pin in it. We'll circle back to him. We'll find out what he's about later.
Right. So, actual tasting notes. So the thing about this is, like, we're going to jump around in this episode, because I think Orval deserves its own order of things, how we talk about things, right? So the thing about Orval is, it is an outlier in the Belgian beer styles, Like, if you were going to try and class it, put it into a BJCP category, it doesn't really live in any of them. It's its own, like, it's like those Belgian brewers when beer styles don't know her. What are you talking about? Like, I'm
That's
just
my
gonna
favorite. Is
make beer that I wanna drink.
Germany's like, and nothing should be anything apart from this is our
These
holy
4
grail,
ingredients.
and nothing and anything else is a sin. You're tainting the beer. And like in Belgium, they're just like, tastes nice though, doesn't it?
Right, 100%. That's exactly
Don't ask
how
us
it
what's
goes
in
down.
it. It tastes good though.
Beer style? What are you talking about? I just chucked some stuff in that
I made a
tasty.
beer. It's a beer.
Do you like it? Cool. Get out.
That's my vibe through and through.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I really
Right.
like Belgian beer.
So if you really want to put it into a style,
Yeah, put it in a box, Joe.
If you like, BJCP is going to try and put it in a box because that's what BJCP does, right? So they're putting it in the Belgian specialty ale category because there just isn't anything else quite like it. It combines Belgian pale ale, English style dry hopping, Trappist brewing tradition, and Brettanomyces maturation. It's all over the shop, but it tastes amazing because of it. So what are we looking for? What should we taste? Again, this depends. So when we're looking at it, it should be deep gold to light amber. Yeah. It should have a dense
Gold's not. I wouldn't say gold. I would say more. I would say more.
Light amber.
I'd actually say there's like there's just a lot of orange in it on my side.
Yeah.
Amber
dense,
feels generous.
It should have a dense white head. Check. Excellent head retention. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuck to my glass there.
It won't quit.
No. Brilliant clarity when older if the sediment is left behind. So mine, I can't really see through it. Maybe because it was very fizzy, so it's brought this bit of sediment with it.
But what's classified as older? Because, and you might be touching on this, I might have to put a pin in it for us to circle back round to, but what do you classify as older? Because this is only 2 years old, and I've seen a lot of comments that specifically have called out 5 years.
So young is 2 to 4 months. Then we get a chunk of around 6 months, and then 1 year plus is when things start to develop. So I mean, this is 2 years. So, but you can age this. I mean, on the bottle it says that you could, like, it's encouraging you to age it for 5 years, at least 5 years. But I was gonna say,
like, a lot of what I've seen when it comes to like the aging aspect of it, they've been like, everyone's touched upon, not everybody, but like this large vocal majority, when someone's like, I tried it after a year, they're like, oh, wait till it gets like 5. And 5 has maybe it's also like the power of persuasion, because if it's like 5 on the bottle, everyone's like, so it's 5 is the one. But then I feel like as we learned with like Holy Goat, it's like, you age it as long as you age it, and you're taking a risk. 5 years could be great. 5 years could be great. 6 years could be great, but you don't really know. 6 years could be bad.
So on all the bottles, you get a bottled on date. So mine was bottled on the 20th of June 2024.
Same.
And then it's got a best before date of 5 years later, so 2029. So I think that's where the 5 comes from.
It's interesting though, if that's meant to be a best before date and people are using that as a guide for age it for this long. Mm-hmm. So like what they're really saying is like, what these people that are drinking it and the way they're perceiving that is like, yeah, best before. No, that's like how long you should age it for.
Right.
The way that these comments read, it's like, wait till it hits 5 years. I'm like, but in theory, if this was like an IPA that was like best before, and you were like, wait till it hits its best before, you'd be like, absolutely not.
I think, maybe this is controversial, I think it depends on what flavours you like.
True.
Because I've got aroma for older and younger. So aroma for young, so that's like up to 6 months maybe. You get orange peel, fresh herbs, floral hops, pepper, pear, and light spice. I would argue that that's what I'm getting off of this one right now.
Sorry, I chuckled because you said light spice, and I just thought I was the sixth spice girl. That's immediately where my brain went. No one knew about her. She wasn't. She was the she represented Belgians, and they were like, "We can't have Belgian ales in there. We got to cut that."
So that I would say that this kind of represents those aromas. Older as these mature,
get a bit barn.
Get a bit of barn.
Yeah, a little bit of barn, but a bit of hay, bit of barn.
So older, you gradually get leather, hay, earth, barnyard (brackets restrained), toast, and dried fruit. So I think we're probably in between those two, right?
I feel like it's I would say it's in between, slightly leaning towards closer for me. Slightly leaning a little bit closer towards the second set than the first, but there are very subtle elements of the first. And I think some of that's maybe not so much in the aroma as well. Like some of the first group is maybe closer in the like some of the tasting notes as well. But yeah.
But then in the flavour, it says dry. Dry is not a flavour. Dry is a mouthfeel. Dry as a mouthfeel. There should be a firm bitterness.
It should taste like dry.
It should taste like dry. Or blue. No, not blue today, just dry.
Not blue, this should just taste like dry or orange. No, that won't work. You can't describe it. It will taste like amber and dry.
Sounds like a candle.
Hay. It tastes like hay and dry. It doesn't taste like hay.
It should taste like, there should be a firm bitterness, a herbal hops, peppery Belgian yeast, citrus zest, earthy Brett, light caramel, and a crisp finish. And the body is medium light, which I think you picked up on. It's highly carbonated, and it's exceptionally drinkable despite being 6.2%. Yeah, we know. Thanks. Thanks for warning us.
Blown my mind. Like, I didn't look at that. And when you're like 6.2%, I was like, oh, oofa doofa.
Hello. Yes, so that's our tasting notes.
Fantastic. I would agree. I think those tasting notes, and I think like where I was saying dried fruit at the beginning, when you were talking about do you say burnt caramel? I think like sometimes because I think when I said like a little bit dried fruit, but not fully. Yeah. And I think sometimes when it's like, it's not quite this, but it's not obviously like a burnt caramel or like a toffee I'm like, oh, I can't work out what it is. The closest thing that I can think of is the dried fruit, but actually it is probably more that burnt caramel taste that I'm thinking of. But I think it was all pretty, I would say it's pretty spot on to the tasting notes for sure.
I'd really like to try like an old one, like 5 or plus, because I want to try that. I want to like try that leatheriness.
I don't know if I want to try leather.
I have had a beer that had like its tasting notes with that, and I was like, oh yeah.
I can do like smoky. I can even sometimes get a little bit into like tobacco-y, depending on the bit. Depending on the beer.
I quite like a tobacco-y beer.
It depends, because I don't always like it. Like leathery, sometimes maybe, but like it doesn't sound sexy. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. It's
leathery. Doesn't sound sexy.
It doesn't sound sexy. It's like you sit on the sofa and it's leather sofa and it's squeaking all over the bit. It's just not a sexy taste. It doesn't sound like a sexy taste.
Fair.
To me personally.
Fair. All right. Do you want to hear about the history of the Orval Brewery?
Oh, yes.
And about the beer, and then we're going to come back to Brett, because I think we need to kind of go through how this happened before we get to that.
Great, because when you get into the brewery, we maybe can jump into one of my things really quickly, because I think it will tie in with what you're going to talk about.
So the Orval Brewery or the Orval Abbey, even, because this is a Trappist beer, and so Trappist beers have to be made at an abbey, generally by monks, just because it's a protected designation, so it has to keep their Trappist badge. It has to be done by Trappist monks. So the Orval Abbey is located in southern Belgium, close to the French border in Wallonia. The monastery was founded in 1070 and later became a Cistercian monastery in 1132. So it's been there a little while. Like many monasteries during the French Revolution, it suffered greatly. In 1793, French revolutionary troops destroyed much of the abbey and the monks were forced to leave. The site remained in ruins for well over a century. In the early 20th century, a new community of Cistercian monks returned and began rebuilding the monastery. Reconstruction was enormously expensive, so the monks looked for ways to finance it. This led directly to the establishment of the brewery in 1931. Now, on the bottle, on the label, there is a fish holding a ring in its mouth, and on the bottle cap, there is also this little symbol of the fish with the ring. So a fun little story is the legend of Orval. So according to legend, Countess Matilda of Tuscany dropped her gold wedding ring into a spring. She prayed for its return, and a trout surfaced carrying the ring in its mouth. And she exclaimed, "Truly, this is a Val d'Or." Golden Valley. Over time, Val d'Or became Orval. The trout carrying the ring is still the brewery's logo today and appears on every bottle. Oh, isn't that nice?
I think I'd probably be annoyed if it was a trout that brought me my ring.
Really? What would you
like
want
that? Well,
instead?
Like, if we're gonna, I don't know, if we're gonna make up like, not make up, because it's obviously very real. It's obviously very much.
It's a legend. It's a legend.
This legend's very real, and legends come from true places. I find. They could have. Again, if we're talking about sexy, like they could have made that sexier than a trout. I think. No, it's the fact that it's like this brown trout's come up in brought. It's like out of all the.
I mean, on the bottles, it looks silver. If that helps.
I don't know that many different kinds of trout. I just know. I just don't think. I think Rainbow? They could have done better. Yeah, that would. Okay. I'm back in. I'm back in.
Okay, cool. So the brewery was established in 1931. Interestingly, unlike many monastic breweries, it was never intended as a brewery to be staffed entirely by monks. From the beginning, it employed professional lay brewers. The first brewmaster was Martin Pappenheimer, a German brewer whose Bavarian background influenced the brewery's use of aromatic hops. Working alongside Belgian brewers Onra van Zayden and John van Hoolen, they developed what became one of the world's most distinctive beers, Orval. The recipe has remained remarkably consistent since the early 1930s. So we're kind of drinking the same beer that they would have been drinking back then. So that's interesting. I think often when we look at these beers, like the recipe has changed a little bit over time, whereas this is pretty much the same.
I do feel like with, at least when we've looked at monastic breweries before, I do feel like it's kind of been like they found a winner.
Yeah.
They stuck with the winner.
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
But also the theme that I feel like we've talked about before as well was like the brewing a beer to make money for the monastery. And that's really like, it's not to profit off the bit, like all the beer that's coming in is strictly to maintain the monastery. And I think like that's interesting. Like when you read that, I was like, oh, that's not the first time that we've heard this. It's definitely been at other monastic breweries that they've done this as well. And maybe that's why the recipes doesn't change, because it's like we've got this banging recipe, and then because a lot of these, especially when they're over in like Belgium or similar areas, like compared to other countries, like they already have this really bold, interesting flavor. So it is that bit like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And because they're not trying to follow the hotness and the trends, there might be something onto that. Like they're not trying to follow the latest hot trends. They're just like, we just need to maintain the monastery. Let's just keep brewing this product. And then that has almost elevated it in terms of its luxuriousness. Like it is seen as this like sought after luxurious item that people are like, oh, I need to get my hands on that. That's a high-end product.
Very true. So having said that, like it is the same recipe back from the 1930s. Equally, we've been talking about Brett. We're going to come back to Brett. So
You put
Brett
the pin in
is
it.
short for, we're going to take the pen out. Brett can come back. We keep saying Brett. That is a shortening of Brettanomyces. So this is a wild yeast, and it can, like, that can make changes to the beer that aren't as controllable as other things. So I think that adds to it as well. So let's have a little talk about Brettanomyces and what it actually is and why it's special. Orval is unique because it uses Brettanomyces, often shortened to Brett. If you've spent any time around craft beer and brewers, you'll have heard brewers talk about Brett. Sometimes they're talking about it in that they want to use it, and sometimes they're talking about how they don't want it anywhere near their brewery. They've got they need to get rid of it if it has appeared. So it is a genus of wild yeast, unlike brewing yeast that are in other beers. So Saccharomyces cerevisiae, if I can say it today, is used in ales, and Saccharomyces pastorianus is used in lagers. Brett and Brettanomyces ferments sugars much more slowly and produces a distinctive range of aromas and flavors that are described as earthy, leathery, hay-like, sometimes woody, or gently funky. Depending on the strain and the beer, it can also contribute notes of pineapple, stone fruit, citrus, or a subtle tartness. So it is generally considered a spoilage organism. It can survive in tiny cracks and on porous surfaces in brewery equipment. It's notoriously difficult to get rid of once it is established somewhere. So if it accidentally gets into a beer and it isn't meant to contain it, it can continue fermenting the sugars left behind by the primary yeast, drying the beer out and changing the flavour of the beer over time. That's why many breweries that produce beers that use Brettanomyces will use dedicated equipment and try and avoid cross-contamination as much as they can. Orval, however, turns what many brewers see as a problem into one of its greatest strengths. After main fermentation is completed with a regular Belgian ale yeast, Orval is bottled with a small amount of sugar and fresh yeast and Brettanomyces. While the primary yeast creates most of the beer's alcohol and flavour, the Brett works much more slowly during bottle conditioning, continuing the transformation of the beer over months and even years, which is why you will sometimes see people do, we've talked about this before, but if you've missed it, what is called a vertical, where you try different versions of the same beer that have been aged over a period of time against each other to see how that flavour and aroma has developed. And Orval is a primary example to do a vertical with because the Brett continues to change over that period of time. I don't know if I've ever had like a properly fresh bowl.
I don't either, and I don't know if this is something that you've got in your notes, but
Yeah.
I found this when I was looking for other things,
Yeah.
and on Reddit, I found this. Somebody made a post from 3 months ago, that was about their trip to Orval, and they said it's the only place that you can get it on draft.
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't like.
It's
I've
bottle
never seen it
conditioned,
on draft.
so
Yeah, I've never seen it on draft. Like ever at all. I didn't even know that was an option because of the fact that it's bottle conditioned. Like I just assumed like they wouldn't even have it on draft there. But they do draft there, and I'm like, that's the freshest of the fresh. And also it looks beautiful. So I've put a link in our notes, in our actual podcast notes. And so you can see it if you want to open it up. It's the one that's under Reddit. But like literally the photos of it are absolutely beautiful
so I
as
also
well.
have
Just makes me want to go.
I've got a fun fact that I was going to say
Oh.
till the end, but this links to that quite nicely. There is also Orval Vert, so green Orval, which is a lower strength table beer, and it's around 4.5% ABV, and it's brewed for the monks and their guests, and is served on draft only at the cafe. at Lange Gardien, just outside the Abbey. It's become something of a pilgrimage beer because you can't buy it in bottles or outside the Abbey area. So while it's a separate beer from the flagship Orval, it adds to the mystique of visiting the monastery. Add that to our Belgian travel list.
I genuinely, I would say the places that I want to go to arguably the most are, I still want to go to Bamberg. Like, Bamberg is still high up there on the list. But looking at
My
these
colleague
photos
Alex went again
of
the other
Orval,
week, and I was so sad.
Oh, get off it, rude. Absolutely rude. But looking at these photos of Orval, we're going to ignore that because I'm so angry. Like, I never get to go anywhere. And Alex has been to Bamberg so many times.
Alex has been to Bamberg twice.
Rude. I never get to go anywhere.
God damn it, Alex.
I want to go. But looking at these photos from Orval, back to the cheese thing, which you might be going to talk, like you might talk about, they have this, like, if you go in a few photos deep into that, like, Reddit thread, there's like a nice little serving board that's like 3 different draft glasses of Orval and a little cut, like a little bowl of 2 sticks of 3 different cheeses. I'm not gonna, I'll let you talk about the cheeses. I won't give away what's special about those cheeses because they are not just any cheeses. And I'm like, oh, it looks really cool, and the Abbey's beautiful. In terms of the price, it's not expensive at all, like, for these things. That looks like the best Lunchables I could ever have. Like, if that was my, like, oh, give me that as a Lunchable. 6 cheese sticks and 3 different beers, and I'd be so happy. And they don't even look like they are stinky cheeses. They look like cheeses that are me approved cheeses, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy about it, and now I really want to go. And that's made me sad because I'm like, that is now a destination. So it's like Bamberg, Orval, Omnipolo Church, I think, are the 3 top places. I'm like,
don't you want to go to West? We want to go to West Veltrin.
I would actually argue, yes, but I would argue
so that you can get a trap on draft.
Yeah, I want to go there as well. I want to go there. Okay, I take it back. I was going to say I'd actually argue that I want to go to Orval more, and then you reminded me of Westmile with the trip, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I do want to go there quite badly.
Like, we just need to go and, like, live in Belgium.
Could we rent a car? Could we rent a car? And
I don't know, because I don't know how far apart they are. Like,
I don't either, because I'm bad at geography. Like, I play math tap at work, and I realize how bad I am at geography every day that I do math tap.
Hire a camper van and just, like, around the different ones.
That's my dream. Don't even shut your mouth. I would love that so much. Like, okay, maybe Bamberg might be hard, but, like, realistically, how hard is it to get to all the... I don't mind, like, when this person that visited said they did a 90-minute drive from where they were to Orval, and I'm like, 90 minutes is not, I would drive 90 minutes for that, but that's, like, I feel like we'd have to I feel like we'd have to stay at places close by so that we could drive there, stay, go to the breweries, have our trip traps, walk back. I feel like this could be such a good road trip. This could be an amazing road trip opportunity.
Let's know, listeners, if you want us to try and attempt this.
And if you don't, I'm gonna plot it out.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Anyways. I'm gonna be, like, plotting this out when I go into bed tonight, and Rick's gonna be like, we haven't even gone on the last 2 holidays that we're supposed to be taking. I'm like, it's all good. Got it plotted out.
In the next one. It's fine. I have a little bit more about where Brettanomyces came from, if you'd like to know that.
Yes.
So the story begins in the early 1900s at the British government's Brewing Research Laboratory in London.
Oh, you're welcome.
In 1904, Danish microbiologist Niels Kjetil Clausen identified a previously unknown yeast responsible for the distinctive character that developed in traditional English stock ales as they matured in wooden casks. Because the yeast was associated with British brewing, Clausen named it Brettanomyces, meaning British fungus. So from the Greek Brettano, meaning British, and myces, meaning fungus. Ironically, although Brett's name comes from Britain, it is now far more closely associated with Belgian beer, largely thanks to Orval. While English brewers gradually moved away from long-aged stock ales during the 20th century, Orval embraced Brett as a defining part of its brewing process. Today, when beer lovers think of Brettanomyces, Orval is often the beer that first comes to mind.
I like that you could use it as an insult.
What?
You could call somebody,
fungus?
yeah, like you could call someone, you know, oh, don't be such a Brettanomyces, and then people will be like, "What?" And you're like, they won't know. They'll think you're talking about this, but actually, you're like, historic name.
You're so shady.
Yeah, like I know.
Another interesting thing about Orval is that it's dry hopped, and they've been dry hopping it since the 1930s. So, you know, today a lot of people think, you know, DDH, double dry hopped, and all the dry hopping. We think about it as like it's you know, a component of modern IPAs, and maybe we think about it as a modern technique. But actually, Orval was already doing this in the early 1930s. The brewery credits English brewing influence from introducing the technique, and this is what gives Orval its unmistakable floral and herbal aroma. So where we're getting that floral note, it's from the dry hopping of aromatic hops. I don't know which ones, so don't ask me.
Which ones? No, I'm just kidding. I do like, the thing is, like, I always gravitate towards as well. Like when something's double dry hop, for example. Like I love a dry hop beer in general. I don't know, like it's not like I could tell you specifically, oh, this is what I love about those beers in particular. It could just be a coincidence that it just happens to be there every time they dry. Like the majority of beers that are dry hopped happen to use certain hop that I'm like, I love that. But I feel like every time I see like a double dry hopped beer, I just go, I'm gonna like that. And I've never had one that I've gone,
never been wrong.
Not for me. Like I've always gone, love it. And I don't know why, but I've just gone, I can guarantee if it's double dry hopped, I'm gonna love it.
She's there. So you know, one thing I really like about Belgian beers is
Everything.
that they often, well, yes, but also they often have very helpful information on the label. So there's a picture on here of it being poured into a chalice glass, an Orval glass, in fact. It also tells you what temperature you should drink it at, which is 12 to 14 degrees Celsius. I do not have that in Fahrenheit, I'm sorry.
I can't even pretend that I can translate that for you. Yeah, it does. That makes me think back to the nitro beer where it was just showing the bottle and it was like, yeah, just put your glass over and then fit it.
I have food pairings. I know you've been waiting for this.
Yeah, and I hope it's cheese.
So, classic food pairings, Orval cheese.
Yes, so that's why I put a pin in mine so that you could talk about it.
Yes, so not only does this Trappist brewery make beer, they also make cheese, which quite a few of the Trappist breweries also make cheese as well. So there is an Orval cheese.
Oh, this is like there were several cheeses in that photo, so I hazard a guess there's several there's several different cheeses, but they all looked at least semi-hard cheeses. Like they almost looked like they were cheddar-esque in appearance only, minimal rind, and I was just like, this is fantastic for me because it doesn't look so soft that it's off-putting. It doesn't have mold in it. I was just like, I'm gonna be in cheese heaven.
You should be happy.
I want to go to this brewery.
It's also suggested that other washed rind cheeses would be good with Orval.
I love a washed rind cheese.
Gruyere. I can never say it. Gruyere cheese. Roast chicken. Like, I reckon this would be well good with the roast chicken.
Roast chicken? Is that really roast chicken?
Roast chicken. Just roast chicken. Roast chicken.
Okay.
Pork of any kind.
Pork of any kind.
Pork. Just pork. Just says pork. Chicken. Roast chicken. Pork.
Roast chicken.
Any kind
pork
of pork.
I love the idea that
it doesn't say, but it just says pork. So I'm just like, any kind of pork.
But I love the idea that it's written pork of any kind, and then it's like roast chicken, specific pork of any kind.
Rabbit. I don't know if it's roast rabbit, just regular rabbit.
I've never had rabbit.
I don't think
I don't think I'm interested in having rabbit. But if I was somewhere where that was like the thing you had to eat and I didn't have to order a whole plate of it, I could just sample somebody else's and it looked good, I'd go, I'll try it. If it looked bad, I don't think I would have it. And I wouldn't order a plate of it. And it wouldn't be the thing that I'd be like, can't wait to eat rabbit.
Mushroom dishes, not for me. But
not for me.
No.
Pass.
Specifically, walnut salad.
Okay.
And Moul's frites, which is a very Belgian dish anyway.
Yeah.
Its dryness apparently goes surprisingly well with richer dishes.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I like that it's roast chicken in particular.
Roast chicken in particular.
Pork of any kind. I'm going to start describing that of things of any kind in future when it's not specified. I really like that terminology. Oh, I'm really like, you've got me amped up for the cheese now.
Sorry.
I feel like I need to have charcuterie at the weekend.
Yeah, there you
go. That's it. I mean, is that all the do you have any more fun facts?
I think my only other fun fact is that we haven't already talked about is that the brewery deliberately limits production in keeping with Trappist principles. Profits support the monastery and charitable works rather than maximising commercial growth, just like we talked about. So
that's interesting that they minimise it. I wonder what the point is where they're like, and what do they do? Do they just go, we're not brewing this week? Or do they go, we have to shut it all down?
Which is brewing planning, right? That's just how breweries work. Like they plan to know how much they need to make.
Yeah. I think whereas I'm viewing it in my brain of they're like, we just keep going normal, and then they're like, stop.
No, like
too much.
Production planning is a thing within breweries, and they're like, okay, we need to brew this many times to make this much beer like this week.
I think I just viewed it as they're like, we are making too much money, we have to stop.
Then they just give it to charity.
And that's true. Yeah. They don't want to have extras. They're like, we don't want extras, but cheese production. Yeah. The cafe list looks really cool. Like just like I said, the grounds just look really, really cool. We can share that. I've shared the link so that we can share that link so that somebody else can see a post that was made by somebody else to just be like, that is beautiful. I mean, you could Google it yourself, but I just really love their photos because they're like, here's the ruins and here is the beer and the cheese. And I was like, that looks amazing. Nice. So with Untapped, there was 2 different sections on Untapped where you had normal Orval.
Yeah.
And Orval 2025, but it wasn't a situation where it was like every year there was an Orval 2020. Like sometimes you see that there's like beer for every single year.
Yeah, it's come out.
With Orval, it's literally just like Orval 2025. So I don't know if this is something that they've put up because obviously, like, I think you can also request.
Yeah, you can add in. You can add in your own, like, and it like it's wild.
But it's bizarre that somebody would be like, and this is why I was hoping you were going to be like in 2025. The fact that you were like they didn't do any recipe change. I thought you were going to be like in 2025. They changed something, and it's like
recipe change.
So I have no idea how they ended up with a 2025 and everything before.
Weird. I have a 2025. So there's only a year between the one that we've been drinking and this one. I would say I'm getting a little bit more floral, less of that Brett character, maybe a bit more fruity on this one. It looks the same.
It'll be interesting to see when you taste it.
Going back to the other one. I think I get a bit more caramel, that burnt caramel in the 2024.
Okay, yeah, I feel like that's fair.
2025 is a bit cleaner.
I probably would have guessed that though, because I'm assuming that's something that just gets more developed with time.
I feel like the 2025 is a bit more woody.
Okay,
I get more of the malt character at the end of the 2025. So that has, like, you've not kind of lost that yet from the AGM.
Okay. I mean, I
They're
don't
not-
have a 2025.
They're
so
not
I'm just gonna-
significantly different. They're not like hugely different. Like it's only because I've got them side by side and I'm looking for the differences that I'm really picking out differences. So I think you probably need a fresh
you need something
1,
that's
2 years, 5 years to really see the differences.
maybe that's our next goal is
Yeah.
having like the vertical of it. I don't have a 2025, and then I felt like one
She felt she
bottle
was
is
missing
not
out.
enough because they're not like
It's
I
only
wouldn't say
330
they're
ml.
massively 330 ml. The bottle size it's a deceptive bottle because you think like that doesn't look 330 ml, but it like very much is. And so I finished mine, and then I really wanted more Belgian beer because I just every time I have a Belgian beer, I realize how much I love it. And I've got a few, but I was like the one that I really wanted. I was like, I'm not opening it. This is not because I feel like I'm cheating by doing a bucket list beer episode about Orval and then I'm drinking something else. But then I felt left out because you had a second beer. So I'm drinking a Brewing. So it's
So there you go.
But this is the glass that I was talking about.
Yes.
So for anyone watching the video to reference, what I was talking about the video, the glass I was going to have it out of was this one, which is meant to be a chalice or goblet. I think it was like a chalice goblet, whatever.
A goblet, yeah.
A goblet. And I'm like, it's a gin balloon though, isn't it?
It's a gin balloon, yeah.
That's a gin balloon.
Yeah.
I love that you knew exactly which glass I was talking about. It's a gin balloon.
Exactly.
But it's beautiful. But I was like, the design on it, I was like, it's perfect for
I did wonder
like,
if you were going to use that glass.
It's got like the cross and the cross that like is a bit upside down.
Was it like staggeringly good?
Yes.
Yes. Staggeringly good.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I got this forever ago because I really liked the glass overall. Gin balloon.
Gin balloon is good for things like if you haven't got a teku. So my second glass, I don't have a second chalice, so I used my teku. I think the slope of the teku is too much for it because I poured it and I didn't pour very much in, and the head decided that it was nearly going to come out of the glass, and I'm like, so it kind of funneled it up and out, and I was like, no, don't do that. So teku seemed like it might be a suitable substitute. I don't know if I recommend it on Orval when she's lively.
Mine was not lively. It was okay. Mine was very... But I feel like I can't really talk... Mine's cheating, so let's just talk about how beautiful the Orval is. And I would say, like, this isn't a bad beer. I'm not talking about what it is that I'm drinking other than the style, just so that's really clear when I hold it up and someone looks at it like, that's very different.
That's very dark for Orval.
It's a Belgian beer. It's a Belgian brewery.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to talk about beyond that. And I would say it's not bad. The Orval's so much nicer though. Like I wish I had another Orval.
Yeah.
I will say that, but I will reserve all final thoughts till our final judgment. So I'm just going to sip away and address the elephant in the room, and now we can forget it, and you can talk about how beautiful your other Orval is.
It is lovely.
So when okay, so let's talk about. I'll break it down as two different untaps, and then talk about the rates. So let's look at the normal Orval first.
Yep.
Rating wise, what are you thinking total rate? Do you want me to give you total ratings?
Yeah.
So total overall ratings, 460,142. Unique check-ins. So total check-ins 460,142. Unique check-ins 305,119. Monthly, we've got 1,305.
Okay.
There's 278,842 reviews.
Yeah.
What do you think that average review is?
I feel like Orval can be quite polarizing. If you don't know what it is, it can catch you off guard, right? So I think that might knock it down.
Okay.
More than you think it's going to. So I think it might be 3.6.
3.67.
No way.
Normally, look.
Normally, I think
it's fair to say that normally you're like, I think this is going to be like this, and then you are like the opposite direction of where it needs to go.
Yeah.
I don't think that's me being. I don't think that's me being shady.
No, it is not. It's accurate.
We've got the receipts. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Spot on that one. Spot on that one.
I was going to say 3.5, and I was like, I'm going to go 3.6.
It's really funny because across both the normal and the 2025 version, there was like, what I did notice was there was not a lot of reviews in general, like full stop. A lot of it tended to just be ratings and photo, and then like also all in the Orval glass. Like there was not any like I barely saw one that was not in an Orval, and I was like, that checks out. And I do think a lot of them were probably from like mainland Europe, and I was like, definitely checks out that they would be in the glass and everything. Fair enough. But I also noticed that in particular there was a lot of like Dutch comments, because I had to translate a lot of the comments, and across both of them, so many. When there were ones written, I would say 1 out of every 4, at least, if not 2 out of every 4, Dutch.
Okay.
And I was like, interesting. Okay. And I do feel like when I went over to the Netherlands for work, there were so many Belgian beers. And that made me happy. And I was just like, Belgian style, but also like physically like breweries from Belgium beers and Belgian beers. And I loved it, and it was great. And I love the Netherlands because there's all the best things there. But yeah, that was an interesting one that I was like, I wonder if it's just because they really seem to love Belgian beers. So looking at the comments for some of the standout, quote unquote standout, I mean, there wasn't many. So the ones that I could find to comment on here was 4.5 stars. The comment was, why drink other beer when you can have Orval with the honest mark?
Oh,
I don't know what the honest mark is.
Is that referring to the Trappist mark?
Maybe. This was a translated thing, so it might have been, I think it translated from like Estonian maybe, so it might have been that it doesn't translate 1-to-1. But interesting. 1 star. 1 star rating. And the comments were, I had to change my rating because every time you sip in, the bubbles explode in your mouth and assault your throat. That one really made me chuckle. I didn't find that at all. I actually said that I think it was quite stealthy.
I did.
But that made me chuckle just for how aggressive like those comments were. Because there weren't many, and it was all like, I struggled to find anything less than maybe like 3.5 stars. Everything was like 3.5 above. There was occasionally some slightly lower, but none that were that low. And then that one that was like 1 star, it's assaulting my throat. And I was like, okay.
Doesn't just not like it.
Then there was one, the only reason I called this one out was because of my observation about how it all seems to be about the glass. 4.25 stars, and the only comment on it was, finally got the glass. But then also, I think what I've noticed about that one,
they stole the glass. They got it in a bar with the glass. I got a photo of it.
I didn't even question that. I thought they finally managed to buy the glass. But now I have
additional
now
questions.
I feel like I need to do like I've got additional questions. I've got a deep dive on that. Don't know, got to get investigative. But it was like, you know how you mentioned about like that it's almost like people won't serve you if you don't, like some places won't serve you if you don't have the appropriate glass. It is interesting because out of every similar bracketed beer, for me it feels like Orval is the one that is the most like their maybe Chimay, but I feel like Orval is like the most well-known glass beer combo, I would argue, just from my observation. When it comes to branded glassware.
Side note, when we were at Little Earth Fest, I think it was one of the other people that I was standing with, they'd gone into the pub and they had Braybrook Lager on, and they'd gone to get a Braybrook Lager, and it was like the end of Saturday, like getting towards the end of Saturday, and then they'd run out of Braybrook glasses, and they were like, oh no, we've not got any Braybrook, we've run out of Braybrook glasses, oh no, what are we going to do? And I can't remember who it was buying it. It was like, I'm fine not having it in a Braybrook glass. And they're like, are you sure? Like, we really should give you a Braybrook glass. And they were like, no, it's fine. Like, attention to detail.
I've never I genuinely never thought about, I never even thought about that element, because I think I actually, when I got Braybrook before there, it definitely came in a Braybrook glass. So I think I've got a photo of it in a Braybrook, because I remember being like, oh, Braybrook, yay. And we've talked about it before, that pub has like just great beers on all the time. And beers, I didn't get a Braybrook, I got other ones, and I think I didn't even pay attention. I was too busy making my friendship bracelets, which I am wearing now. I was too busy friendship braceleting to pay attention to the glassware, but you might have been right that it might have been branded glassware. So that's the Orval Untapped, but then you've got the Orval 2025. Not so maybe the reason you've done so well was because like before I made you wait to get all the total check-ins and stuff, and I'm telling you up front, so now you can make a good judgment. Okay, so total check-ins, you can make an informed decision. So I'll do this again for this one just to see if it tracks. 17,664 total, 15,202 unique, 652 monthly, and in terms of the ratings, we have 14,186. 0 check-ins from me on this one.
And what have they rated it?
What's the average rating for 14,186?
I feel like this is slightly more mild than the other ones, so I feel like it might go up a little bit. So I'm going to say 3.8.
3.6 again. 3.65. If it's very consistent.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing is I will say it's quite consistent there. So the comments, this one though, surprisingly, I think had a bit more comments being put on when people were checking it in. So some of the top ones I had, this one was funny. It was 4 stars. It was marked as a draft, but they definitely showed a bottle in the picture. It was a bottle next to the glass. So I was like, fine. The comments were, my least favorite of the classics, still better than a coffee.
Oh, controversial.
Again, that was a translation, so I'm trying to work out what that might have been, but I genuinely can't think of anything that it might have been instead. So it doesn't like coffee. Maybe that's it. Maybe they were like, if I had to have a coffee or this, I would take this. But it's still 4 stars, so it'd be like my least favorite 4 stars. Maybe they're just a very generous rater. Maybe. I liked the phrasing on this one. Oh no, I'm going to hold off on that one because that one, this one's a good one to kind of go out with. So we've got Bad Batch 3.5 ratings, but then controversially, I didn't think, just the comment was it was 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Bad Batch was all that was written there. Again, it was a translation, but I didn't think that 3.5 would actually be something I would put down for like a bad.
Yeah.
But what I did notice was that it was taken out of a sports bar in Brussels, and I saw that and then a lot of check-ins at campgrounds.
Okay.
And I just thought like, the campground ones, the photos, they looked like not how I go camping. And it made me, and I've never gone to a sports bar that has ever served anything close to an Orval.
Yeah.
PBR is like the most luxurious we're getting at some of those places.
I mean, it is a sports bar in Belgium though.
But that makes me be like, I'm missing out on the camping and sports barring that I'm doing. And I need to like see what life is like. Yeah. Like I need to go to like mainland Europe, specifically Brussels, to be like, let me see what, like, do I just walk in anywhere and they're just like Orval? And I'm like, yes. Immediately left. Some of the camping pictures look great because it's all like really well organized as well, of like coasters were out and everything. I was like, I have never once brought a coaster to camping.
No.
I appreciated it. I had a big appreciation.
I have made placemats.
Do you bring You
didn't bring placemats. We made placemats because it was a brownie camp.
That doesn't count.
Brownie camp, so then we knew where everyone was sitting.
Adult camping. We're talking adult camp. I don't like saying adult fill in the blank activity because it just I always find that sounds really like inappropriate. But like not brownie camping. Adult, like adult camping, or when they're like adult paint night. It's like just say that it's paint night with booze, because when you say adult paint night, it makes it sound like it's really adult camping is like, are we camping in the nude? Like, what are we doing?
No, that's just nudist camping.
True. I don't even know what I'd do in that situation. But like that doesn't count if you've made the placemats. These people look like they had brought coasters to the camping site, and I'm like,
fancy, that is
highbrow camping, and I'm here for it. This one I just wanted to shout out Laura, because it says, my daughter brought me this Belgian beer from her last trip. Thanks, Laura. Good beer, 3.25.
Thanks, Laura.
I'm like, cheers, Laura.
Good choice.
Amazing. Well done, Laura.
Yeah.
This next one, 3 stars. With Bram, when compared a bottle that has been allowed to mature for a year with a more recent bottle, the older bottle is a bit softer.
Oh.
Would you agree with that? Because you have them both in front of you.
No. Personally, I'm finding the younger ones softer.
Okay.
But I think it depends on what they mean by soft.
No
because
idea.
I wonder if an older one, if the carbonation's gone down a little bit.
Maybe that's what they mean.
I think
the softer is so.
Yeah, that could be
subjective.
Like softer in what way? So like softer aroma, the flavors are softer, the carbonation is softer. We need more context for that.
The next one I've got is 4 stars. Pleasantly juicy, fruity, and generally saucy aroma. I like that.
Saucy.
Don't know what it means. Love it. Very strong carbonation, champagne-like, fruity, strong Belgian yeast influence, slightly spicy, herbal. Not very easy to drink due to carbonation, but the taste is good. Still one of Belgium's iconic beers.
There you go.
So I thought I'd read that one because that's got like a lot of descriptions in it. I think the only thing that I would say is like they're not very easy to drink due to carbonation. I didn't personally find that it wasn't that difficult. I didn't find it difficult to drink because of the carbonation.
No, and I think most Belgian beers tend to be slightly more highly carbonated than beers that we're used to. But I suppose it depends. Depends on what your beer background is. So if you're a lager drinker, like lagers tend to be a bit more carbonated than real ale or maybe an IPA. I suppose it depends.
Okay, I'll give you this final one for Untapped.
Okay.
4 stars. It's Orval to the last drop. I thought that was like
in marketing.
It was definitely translated as well, so I don't know if that was like a Dodge translate. But I was like, don't care. That's great. That should be their slogan.
Yeah.
Orval to the last drop. Love it. It's giving like old school Guinness vibes.
Yeah.
Love it. Beer Advocate. So let's migrate ourselves over to Beer Advocate. Some would say the more discerning, the more discerning of the rating websites.
Of Untapped.
Yeah, that's a nicer way. Yeah, that's a nicer way to say it. I will tell you, rating wise, we've got 5,984 with 2,575 reviews.
Okay.
It was added in September of 2001.
Okay.
It's on 400 want lists, 1,067 got lists. What would you guess the score is out of 100?
Think that I always say this, but I think the people on Beer Advocate are a little bit more discerning. I think they know a little bit more about beer. So I would say 4.2.
I'm shook. You have got that spot of 4.2.
Yes.
You've got. Have you been cheating?
No, I have not. No,
I'm shook. I'm shook. Not that I would ever accuse you of cheating, but I'm shook.
You just did.
That's 2 out of 3.
2.
Quelle surprise. Wow.
Yeah, no, I have not been looking.
Score wise, so out of 100 on scoring, what would you say?
89.
93.
Oh. Okay.
Any guess on the rank number?
What is it ranked in against? Belgian beers?
All the others. So it's ranked as a Belgian pale ale.
Oh.
So what would you say? So I guess there's 2 different rankings. So you've got ranking for Belgian pale ales, and then you have just overall beer rankings, like what number, like what its score out of 100 is, which you've done, but then the ranking overall in terms of all ones, and then what it ranks for Belgian pale ales. I'll pull up both lists.
World ranking, I suspect it's not very high up the world rankings because Treehouse and
okay. Go with the Belgian pale ales first. Go with Belgian pale ales first, and then go overall ranking.
They do Belgian style pale ales, right? Trillium's got to be in there.
It'll be it won't be them.
Farmstead's
It
gotta
will
be in
be
there.
yeah, it will be Hill Farmstead.
Hill Farmstead's got to be in there.
Hill Farmstead, Hill Farmstead, Hill Farmstead.
Farmstead, Orval.
Maybe one brewery actually in
Belgium.
Belgium. Hill Farmstead, Trillium. For their one Belgian pale ale.
I have no idea where it might be. Like 1,675
of their
overall beers.
Okay, and then what would you say for their Belgian pale ale?
Belgian pale ale. I think it might 15.
It's number 1 for Belgian pale ale.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's number 1 for Belgian pale ale, and it's number 3,327 overall.
Okay, fine.
So like that's the one. When you're looking at the overall, we've got like the first. Let's just say the first 5. We've got Toppling Goliath, Side Project, Three Floyds, Perennial Artisanal Ales. Like these are like it is not. And I also wonder as well, because I would say Beer Advocate is more an American heavy website. It does lean towards what's American taste buds, American popularity, American icons. Yeah. And I think there is actually probably, and I feel like this is fair to say because of importing and everything like that, there are probably so many people that are drinking heavy hitters in the US that are hard to get outside the US that have never even thought about some of these breweries that are in mainland Europe. There are absolute icons outside of the US. Just for lack of, there's just so much option in the US that you just don't even, you might have heard of it, but you just don't even think about it. But in terms of the rating for Belgian Pale Ale, so Orval's number 1, and then you've got Petit Orval is number 2. And then, I don't even want to pronounce the rest of them, but just those 2. Those 2, and I can't pronounce the rest of them because I will butcher them. Number 5 is an Allagash one, 16 counties, which I feel like that makes sense. And then there's one that I'm not going to try to pronounce for number 6. That's Jolly Pumpkin Artisan Ales. And I like that because it's pumpkin. Yeah, Jolly Pumpkin. So, so
I'm surprised.
Brasserie d'Orval takes the top 2 slots on the star
because Orval is like, it's not a Belgian pale ale.
That's what's classified as on Beer Advocate.
Belgian pale ale, but it's a doctored pale ale.
That's what it takes. Is some of the key reviews, like the snippets of the key reviews, because I've not taken all of the reviews, but snippets are 3.34 out of 5. It's solid without being incredibly remarkable. The scent isn't super strong, and the taste is a bit me muted. Don't know what that means. I think it's just meant to be a bit muted, and honestly a bit bitter, while still being distinctly that Belgian taste. I feel like I would oddly agree with the first sentence about it being solid without being incredibly remarkable, because I don't think it is remarkable in the sense of like there's nothing that's like, oh my god, this is the most. Right. Maybe that's controversial of me to say. I don't necessarily agree with all of what they've said, but I do actually think that like it is so solid without being something that's like, here's these amazing adjuncts, here's amazing, like all of this amazing stuff. It's just a solid, enjoyable beer. I can't argue that.
As this, we've got just as an aside, because I've just taken a sip. Sorry, I'm going to butt in. This 2025, now that it's warmed up, I'm getting that like barnyard.
Interesting. So I wonder if it's a temperature thing.
And I didn't get that from. Yeah, I don't get it from I get more hay from the 2024. Interesting.
Yeah, I would say, like, when I said barnyard, it was more like the heavy emphasis on the hay. Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah. Maybe it is just the temperature element of the 2025 of like, obviously we know things change with temperature, but next review I've got down here is 4.15 out of 5. Look and taste like a slightly spiced apple cider, red-orange colour, very foamy head, smell lightly of medicinal herb, fairly bitter, yet also juice-like in taste and texture with a touch of apple pie spice. Tingly texture. I didn't get any of that.
Apple pie spice, no. I can get...
Red-orange colour and foamy head was all I got. Maybe a bit medicinal herb, maybe. Yeah, medicinal herb
I get. I think if you've not tried something like this, like with Brett in before, and you might have had apple cider, like the proper, like, funky...
Oh, okay,
farm
fine.
stuff that I
Yeah,
can get where you're that's your comparison. I get that.
fair. I think I was thinking a bit more, but what's a traditional when you have a hard cider in the US?
Yeah.
It's very like alcoholic cider in the US is very different to cider in the UK.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I was assuming, and I was like, I don't know if I would get that. And the spice element, I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. But fair enough on your comment there. Next on 4.26 out of 5, unlike anything I've ever tried before. Got 4.5 out of 5, one of the best Belgium ales. And this is one of the best Belgium ales. So bring it back to your comment, Belgium versus Belgium.
People
just putting that out there. So I'm sure someone will get upset this whole episode with me. 3.68 out of 5. If I'm going to do a Trappist, it's going to be a Westmalle. This is not my jam, starting with the look. Smell followed that orange look with hints of tangerine. It is full-bodied, so it holds on. Didn't get a lot of that. Like,
didn't get tangerine.
Whether you like Westmalle better, that's personal opinion. Whether it's your jam, not personal opinion. Orange. So it said orange look with hints of tangerine. So I could say orange look, but I don't get tangerine aroma, and I don't get that it's so full bodied that it holds on.
No.
Personally.
No.
But fair enough. And then the final I've got is 4.6 out of 5. A beer where I'm at a loss for words. It's so unique. For the record, I don't worship Trappist beers. I love Westmalle, but I think most are overpriced. But this, wow, it smells like colours. Wow, it smells like colours, gold and turquoise.
Smells like
it tastes
colours.
it tastes, and I didn't translate this was all written as is. It tastes like
you
a
were
mysterious
tasting blue.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I was like, oh, I get it. I'm not knocking it. It tastes like a mysterious ancient ocean on another planet. Yes, I didn't write this, just for the record.
It's great. I love it. Keep going.
Yes, there's dark fruit, kombucha, citrus, zesty hops, and limestone, but it's mostly mysterious. Tastes kind of like shoegaze. That's it. Fantastic. I don't know.
This person enjoyed.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm here for the writing process.
Yeah.
And then I guess just to summarize some of so I've got several threads on Reddit. I can share them. Not all of them are specifically about Orval. Some of them are just like general beer threads where I pulled some comments. But I thought to balance out those, go to Reddit, get some of the thoughts and comments on Reddit. So some of the ones on one post that was made, the caption on the post was, I've had Orval 20 or so times at various stages, and it might be my favorite beer ever. Wish I could have it more but at $5 to $7 per bottle, it's more of a treat. And I guess my question there was like, is that expensive? Is $5 to $7 that expensive? When you're taking into consideration how far that beer has traveled.
Yeah. To the US,
maybe I don't know. And they mentioned that it's of various ages, so I'm like between 5 and 7. Like, that's not that bad.
That's not that. I don't think.
Yes, it's not as cheap as if you were getting it straight from.
When did they write the comment? Is it a recent comment?
Let me see. This was 1 year ago.
Oh no! Like, that's cheap.
So tariffs were already in place.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can. I don't co-sign that.
No.
But then also within there was a comment that said it was that deemed it one of the most underrated, and then it said Belgium, but it was crossed out, and then said beers in the world. And I was like, I would agree with that, because I feel like not a lot of people widely talk about. Like, I think that it's like, if somebody asks like what are like iconic beers, it might get named, but I do think it gets really undervalued. I would agree with that comment.
I think you're right.
Another post had comments that said, there's a bar I go to in my regular vacation spot that I get one every time I get into town. Just good for my mental health. And I love that. Like, have you ever had like a routine of like when it comes to beer? Because I know, like, I can say when I go back to Boston to visit, like, there's certain places that I go to, certain beers that I get that I'm like, if I can get this or find this, even if it's just like certain breweries, like I'm like, there's certain main breweries or spots in Maine that I go to, I'm like, that is my happy place. Like, that is my happy place, to go to some of these breweries that I'm very blessed to be in driving distance of, or a shop that easily sells them. Do you have any of those?
If I see a Sam Adams Boston Lager, I'm having that.
You're just happy with Sam Adams Boston Lager. Like, you're just like,
give me
good,
a Sam Adams
happy
Boston Lager and I'm happy. I was watching a TV show. I can't remember what it was now. We were watching it the other day and they were drinking Sam Adams and I was like, oh, they got the good beer ale.
They got the good one out.
They got the good beer ale. I can't remember what it was we were watching. But I was like, they kept drinking Sam Adams and I was like, they know.
That makes me think of like when you get the good there's this like meme that said that I think it was LaCrouche did a collaboration with Pokemon like however many years ago it was now, and I wanted it so bad, but it was so expensive and I was like, I am not paying just because I'm a millennial and I grew up with Pokemon. I will not be held at ransom to pay Pokemon price. Like
right.
For some things I will, but for cookware, absolutely not. Like, I'm not being held ransom for that. And it was like, I saw a meme that was like, when the guests come around, it's like, honey, get out the good china. And it's like a Pokemon setup of plates and cups. And that's just what you just said made me think of like, honey, get out the good beers. And then you're like, I've got the Sam Adams, put the Bud Lights away.
Exactly.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then one of the final comments that I've got, so one of the comments I've got is came here for so they came to a thread and said, commented under, it was like recommending beers, and so many said Orval, and under one of the comments that recommended Orval said, came here for this. Orval is perfection. Also the ideal desert island beer as it lives and matures, so you're always getting a new awesome beer that was slightly different than the last one you drank. And I thought that was so effing clever that I was like, that is quite clever.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And then I found one
is if you like it young and you're stuck on a desert island, then you're only going to get it older and older.
Well, imagine like when you talk like desert island beers, it tends to be like, normally it's like, so you can just get this all the time. Like, we don't question physics. Like, we don't question time travel. We don't question like it's just like you open that fridge and that's what you can have when like.
I always
but
think
you can only have
as,
the one thing.
You're stuck on a desert island and that's the only thing that you have.
Yeah, but like realistically, if that was the thing, like how much beer do you think is going to be? Like, if it's like you can only take what you brought with you,
you could have a case.
That's not good. That's going to last me one night.
You kidding me? 6.2%.
I'm on a desert island. I'm not going to work tomorrow. What do you mean? I'm going to have one really good night.
You don't know how long you're going to be stuck there.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be a magical bounty. And I just open a fridge and I get whatever I want. Because if I'm stuck on a desert island, I probably haven't brought any beer with me because I didn't intend to be stuck on an island. Like,
fine.
I'd want more than a pack. Are we talking like 6-pack, 12-pack, 24?
No, I'm thinking like a crate, like 24.
That's not enough though, is it? And am I alone? Am I with somebody else?
I don't know. You're on your own.
That'll last me like, if I ration it, maybe like a week.
Okay.
That's like a week max.
Fine.
Because I'm not just having one. I'm not one and done every night. It's not going to even last me 24 nights. I have nothing to do on that island. I did find a post that I just thought was really interesting that said, what's a renowned beer that's unappreciated in your area? And they were talking about how they own, so this is from 24 days ago. I don't even know how to say this username, so I'm not even going to try to say it. Sevuhro. And it was a discussion topic in r/craft beer. And it said, I operate a bottle shop in a fairly rural part of Appalachian, Tennessee. Our sales are good for the area, but it's definitely not a beer market. Here are some of the things that have gathered dust on our shelves or have even gone on closeout deals. Pricing wasn't a factor. We put these at MSRP, despite being highly acclaimed. And the list. Do you wanna make any guess for like? So obviously, clearly Orval was on that list.
Orval.
At the bottom. Do you want to guess? Do you want to put in any other guess for what you think is on there?
Something else like Westfelter, like Westies. Maybe no. Is it all imported stuff or is some of it American?
Mix. It's a mix.
like maybe a Pliny.
No.
I
I'll
have
give you
no
one more
idea.
guess.
Okay, one more guess. Like a London Pride.
No, I was going to give you a hint. My glass is one of them.
Oh,
You get a fourth guess? Yeah. Yeah. So it's Sierra Nevada Celebration,
Oh,
Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest, North Coast Old Rasputin, Burial Lagers, and West Coast IPAs. That just seems general. It's like Burial Lagers. Oh, unless it's the West Coast IPAs that are also Burial. Yeah. But I was just like, weird aside.
Yeah.
Duvel Belgian Blonde, Maine's Lunch, and Rodenbach, and then Chimay and Orval. And I looked at this list and I was like, at least for the most part, like I don't really know much about North Coast Old Rasputin. Yeah. I know Burial, but I don't know much about their lagers and West Coast IPAs really, I don't think.
Yeah.
But the rest of them I was like, and like Main Lunch, I'm like, what do you mean? It's such a good beer. Yeah, just thought that was an interesting one. So those were all the reviews that I've got. I've got some other quick things, but obviously I know we don't have a lot of time, so we can just share comments of them. But one article that I did get was from Beer and Brewing, so craft beer and brewing website, and it was called An Ode to Orval. The headline note, the byline was that there may be no beer or brewery more respected by brewers around the world than Orval. Here we've asked brewers to share their thoughts about why this beer means so much to so many. And the one part that I thought I'd read was that there was a section, because we're obviously talking about you're drinking two different Orvals. Mm-hmm. There was a section that was called When Brewers Drink Orval, and that is very heavily emphasis on the when. It is about aging. So Stephen Powells from Boulevard Brewing in Kansas said, I like Orval at about 6 months when those tropical flavors are the most present. I never got tropical flavors, but I will.
If it's after 6 months, this is 2 years.
Oh yeah, so maybe that is. But I can't even like picture that.
We need fresh ones.
But I don't think I've ever had a Belgian beer that I've gone tropical.
Yeah, but that's the Brett doing that.
Yeah, true, fair. Ben Colley from Degarade Brewing in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. I love about a year-old bottle of Orval. The hops are still there, but there is a big dark berry nose to it, and the Brett funk is really starting to come through. Kevin Ely from Unta Brewing Co. in Salt Lake City, Utah said, I'm a traditionalist. I like to see beers rooted in history. I really enjoy an Orval that has been conditioned in the bottle for a few more years. So I feel like maybe that's probably similar to what we've had. Mm-hmm. And then there's Jesse Friedman from Almanac Beer Co. California that said, at every stage in its evolution, it's interesting and complex. And at every stage, it's delicious. It's like, I love that they finished on that one. That's great. So we'll share that article because there were some really good like comments from the brewers on Orval. We can share some articles as well around Orval Day, because we didn't really talk about that, but there's Orval Day. And what is Orval Day, you ask? And it is, I'll just read you this little blurb from this Hop Culture. So this is a Hop Culture article from 2022. So it's obviously talking about it from previous years, and the dates are not wrong because the dates change. It's in March. And the description of what Orval Day is Orval has a storied past, but the celebration known as Orval Day started pretty recently, began in 2015. That year, a store in Ohio did an Orval promotion with the apt title Orval Day. According to Craig Hartiger, the marketing director at Merchant du Vin, Orval's US importer, this little promotion helped rejuvenate interest in Orval stateside. And it basically goes on to talk about when they hold. So it's held annually in late March. They donate for every bottle sold. They donate to a nature cause. What's really interesting as well is this is all very focused on like it's sort of like rolled out to become like a national thing within the US, but I've even seen it over here. So this year, Brewery Market, which is in Twickenham, they held Orval Day, which was I think it was the 26th of March.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because they talk about the legend of how Orval started. In the about section, it's like starts the legend, and it says, "We invite you to step into the story with us at Brewery Market. For one evening, everything we serve will be created with Orval itself. Every dish on the menu cooked with this revered Trappist ale and served alongside it. Each bite and sip will be a reminder of the mystery and devotion bound up in its history." So I thought that was really interesting. It says, "We hope to also share with you Orval's elusive cheese, rarely seen outside Belgium. To complete the experience, between courses, we'll explore the myths." I wish I had seen this because I follow them as well. So I probably did see it, and I probably just went like,
do such
amazing
good
events.
They do really good events.
They do amazing. Probably, I would argue, one of the best places in the UK for beer themed events. Like, they've done murder mysteries, they've done parties, so it was like dog parties. It's my favorite. They've done so many amazing events, and I've just seen that when I was searching. It was really hard to find the history behind Orval Day, because every website was just like, it's in late March, but then like didn't really give the details around it until I finally found. But then I found brewery merchants through that, and I was like, I didn't know they did an event. So that was a fun and exciting one. And then I'm not even going to remotely read it, but I found this really funny, like, dramatic reading of a story about somebody who had their wife on Reddit. Their wife gave a coveted bottle of Orval that they had been holding on to one of their friends that had come round, and the husband came home to find that their Orval was gone. And it was written in such a dramatic way. Yes, there's I will say, slightly gendered language in the sense that it's like, it's one of those like, lads, how do we recover from this kind of things. Like, it's very geared towards like, I am a man and this woman has done this, but it was very dramatic reading, and it made me kind of chuckle about how dramatic it was. So I feel like we can include that if somebody wants to read that in their own time, they can read that. But that concludes my fun segment.
I love it. I do have what of the books it's in. So if you want to learn a bit more about Orval, or you're following along with our beer bucket list and seeing which of the beer suggestion books it's in, it is in 1001 Beers to Try Before You Die on page 218. It's on 300 Beers Before You Die on page 225, and it's in World's Greatest Beers on page 253.
Final verdict on it. Bucket list beer, yes or no? If somebody sees this, they're walking around the shop, they see it, they buy it, yes or no?
Definitely get it. And I think you should get a couple.
Agree.
And like age them. Although I really want to try a young version now.
I do think it depends on, like, I guess maybe this is one of those beers that depends on the price tag. I think like, but I don't think that this beer is ever so inaccessibly priced.
Like
that if somebody is pricing
not
it
expensive.
No, and I think if somebody is pricing it in a, I can't tell somebody what is inaccessible and not, because everyone has different budgets.
That's
but
true.
I think if something is massively inflated, as in like what you see with, you know, the likes of like Pliny and stuff like that, where it's high double digits sometimes. I understand import fees and everything else like that, but like, because this beer already is starting out as something that's like not for profit per se, I can understand if you're like in the US, for example, and there's like there's extra import charges and stuff like that, so maybe it brings up the price a bit. But I think if you're looking at something that's like mid to high double digits, that's a person that I personally wouldn't buy from, because I'd question why that was so expensive. But within a reasonable price, I'd say at least buy one. And if it's like $10 or £10 or whatever under, I'd be like, get multiple of those bad boys. And I really still want to go to the cafe.
Well, there we go. Let us know if Orval is on your bucket list. Tori, if people want to tell you that Orval's on
Tell me about the cheese. Tell me about the cheese. Tell me about the cheese. So the things you can come and talk to me specifically about are the cheese. If you've been, or you've had the cheese, what is the cheese like? And number two, if you want to recommend some really good like road trips that allow us to stop at all these like monastic breweries and just like iconic, beautiful breweries, I am all about. I think we said it I think I said it on the episode that came out about our mid-year review, that I was like, I'm all about this year finding the most beautiful places to drink beer. The most beautiful place I can do it. Please come and recommend that to me in terms of Belgian breweries. You can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_optimism, or you can email me. Like, if you've got a Google map that you've already set up with all these stops on it, share it with me. adventuresinoptimism@gmail.com. Definitely, like, if you really want Joe and I to go on a road trip, like, hands down. I mean, I don't even need to be convinced, but at least then I can kind of say to them, like,
we have an excuse.
People want it.
Yeah.
And if you've got recommendations, on that you really want us to do it, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at A Woman's Brew. You can email us at awomansbrewpodcast@gmail.com. Joe, if people want to talk to you about, I don't know, what do you want them to talk to you about?
Well, before we get into mine, also, if you want to hear the rest of our bucket list beer episodes, you can go to our website, which is a women's brew podcast.beer, which is .beer.
It's Women's Brew Pod.
Sorry, that's why you always do it.
Pod.beer. That's why I always do it. But I didn't do it this time because I'm ashamed.
Why?
To be honest, because we should have done so much more with that website, but it just becomes a filter for all.
Everything all of our episodes are there.
We will eventually, maybe sometime at some point, do blog posts. Maybe if we go on a road trip, maybe we will.
Maybe we'll do blog posts. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do blog posts from the road.
But I need to know what I need to put on my beer bucket list now that I've ticked everything off. So come and recommend some possible bucket list beers to me.
Belgian bucket list beers,
maybe, if I haven't already had them. You can find me on Instagram. I am Love Beer Learning. I'm also on Facebook under Love Beer Learning, but you're more likely to find me on Instagram. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can email me, lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Right, I think that's...
my Orval's gone.
I've still got a little bit.
Cheers.